Today I'm going to show you how to sharpen any blade cheap and easy.
5-Tool Tuesday.
Today we're sharpening my Mora Companion, but this method works on any blade. Chisels, hook knives, round knives, swivel knives, gouges, and everything else. This method works. What you will need: number 1, sandpaper, 2 grits, 800 and 1500. Number 2, a flat board. Number 3, a scrap of leather. Number 4, some kind of a honing compound. I use auto salt. Number 5, a clamp. And number 6, well, that's the bonus tool.
Bonus tool.
So you're just gonna have to wait and see. Piece of paper, example, it's not biting in. Blade needs some work. Every blade in some form does this. The Mora knife that we're using has 2 flat spots, and then the bevel is straight coming to a point. Every blade is like this. When we're sharpening, we're removing material from here and here. A Swiss Army knife also has this, but it's different. At this end of the blade, it tapers, and then at the end you have what's called a secondary bevel. This is called a Scandi grind. But in each case, you're removing material from the sides of the bevel to the point. With the sandpaper, we're trying to pull up a little burr. We remove material from this side with the sandpaper and we pull up a little burr. That's a little wire of metal that comes up at the end of the point. Then when we do the other side of it, it flips the burr and the burr is now going that way. When we get to the strop, it actually will take that burr and remove it. The strop will take it right off. We got a flat-ish board here. Take our sandpaper and line it up roughly along the edge of that board on the edge of your table. Take your clamp and clamp that so the sandpaper is now on the edge. Lay that flat onto the sandpaper, lift the spine up so that this length is flat against the board. And then we're gonna hold that angle and pull back on the sandpaper. Flat, tipped up, bringing it back. And then we're gonna bring it up like that as we go to the end. See here, now that's starting to look pretty. This knife has gone through a lot of abuse, but that's starting to get shiny and pretty. But I'm not feeling the burr yet. I thought I'd find a burr a little quicker on this one, but now we don't want that to be too uneven. So we put the clamp on the other side and we start going to town with the other side. Lay it flat, tip it up, pull back. And you can see here that I'm not quite getting to the end. So we gotta change the angle a little bit. There we go. Now I'm starting to feel that burr. There we go. That's really pulling up the burr now. It's heavy right here. Feel the burr really well right there, but not as much on the end. So it needs a little more work on that part. You want it to be even. There we go. That's really starting to pull up that burr. This is 800 grit. Probably could have used 600 to get to this point faster. Always checking for that burr. Have you pulled up the burr? On every part of the edge. There's the burr right there all the way along the edge. So now we're gonna move to the 1500 grit. And line it up with the edge. Our burr is still there. Turn it around so you have fresh sandpaper and move. Change the side of that to make it a little more. I think this side is slightly better, slightly flatter. It's not the end of the world if your piece of board is not perfectly flat. right, I get our piece of leather. Auto-sol. Spread it around nice and even. All right, so the leather is the strop. Put a bit too much on there. And same thing, you lie it flat, tip it up so you get the angle. Way too much auto-sol on here. And you're just doing this just so much. And this is going to get your knife super sharp. You see how that's turning dark? That's all the metal that's actually being removed from the knife. And the test. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And there you have it, a cheap and easy way to sharpen any blade. Here's some bonus tools.
Bonus tool.
We have a sharpening stone. If you needed to really repair your blade, this is a good way to do it. If you have an axe, a sharpening puck. If you're out in the woods, you can take your axe and work on it like that. And you don't have to have a flat surface. Another tool
Bonus tool.
is a strop that you basically have ready to go. So you take that piece of leather and you glue it to a piece of board. I actually have 3 of these
Bonus tool. Bonus tool.
with different grits on them. A heavy grit, a medium, and then auto-sol. I would rather not have to sharpen them with the sandpaper if I don't have to. I would rather just strop them and keep them sharp all the time. Don't forget to like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you'd like to see more. You can find me on Instagram at Left Hand Leather Co. If you're interested in my carving, you can find me at The Wood Life Goods. Thanks for watching this episode of 5 Tool Tuesday. Until next time, I'll be me and you be you. Peace.